In modern military strategy, there has been this dangerous comfort and belief in the iron wall, the idea that heavy armor, established lines, and superior numbers will provide a definite shield. But in a quiet forest in Estonia, during the Hedgehog 2025 exercises, that shield didn't just crack. It shattered with noise. A massive NATO formation, built on the golden standard of Western military doctrine, was effectively neutralized in less than a day. The enemy? Not a rival superpower, but a team of 10 specialists using mostly off-the-shelf drones and custom software. For any nation that finds itself in a position of geographic vulnerability or numerical disadvantage, this exercise wasn't just a drill. It was a blueprint for the future of sovereign survival. Today, let's analyze together the truth of the Estonian exercise, not as a critique of NATO, but as a masterclass in asymmetric defense. Now, the setup was a classic one. Typical. High readiness brigade with heavy tanks versus a small, agile opposing force. The NATO units operated under traditional protocols, establishing centralized command hubs and concentrated vehicle parks. Within 12 hours, the Red Force, using a fraction of the budget, simulated the destruction of 17 armored vehicles and crippled 2 full battalions. The strategic insight in the modern theater is that mass has become a liability. The more you concentrate your forces to create a feast, the more you provide a singular, high-value target for cheap, precision-guided munitions. For a smaller defender, the goal is no longer to match the enemy's mass, but to make that mass impossible to maintain. Too costly, too bloody, too ineffective. Now, the exercise exposed what strategists call the transparency paradox. Traditional camouflage is designed for the human eye, but the modern battlefield is observed by eyes that never blink and see in spectrums that we cannot. A tank engine or a heated command tent glows like a beacon in a cold forest. Radios and command networks create a digital footprint that can be geolocated in seconds. The NATO battalions were digitally loud. They moved with the confidence of the 20th century, unaware that every move was being broadcast to a decentralized network of attackers. This isn't about nets. Survival now depends on multispectral stealth. It's all about electronic silence and thermal discipline. If you cannot be seen in the digital spectrum, you cannot be targeted. If you cannot be targeted, you cannot be defeated. The real winner of the exercise, the real achievement, it wasn't a weapon. It was a piece of software called Delta and a proper mindset. In traditional doctrine, information is hierarchical. It moves slowly. By the time a target is approved for a strike, it has often moved. The Ukrainian team used a decentralized network. Every operator saw what the drone saw in real time. This drastically shortened the kill chain from minutes to seconds. This is the algorithmic edge. For a nation with limited manpower, software acts as a force multiplier. It allows a dozen people to do the work of a division. It shifts the advantage from the side with the most tanks to the side with the fastest data processing capabilities. Why does this matter for the future of defense? Because it proves that static defenses are death traps. The exercise showed that 2 battalions representing thousands of lives became combat ineffective because they were too slow to adapt to a transparent battlefield. The strategic takeaway? Distributed lethality. Don't park your assets together. Spread them out. 100 small units are harder to kill than 1 large brigade. Attrition math. A cheap drone taking out a 10 million tank is a war of attrition. The defender wins every time. Now, although this is exaggerated and it's partially true, it's mathematically true. The human element. The exercise didn't require elite super soldiers. It required tech-literate operators who could think faster than the enemy's bureaucracy could move. Now, let's make a summary of the key outcomes from the exercise. Dispersion, stealth, data speed. The truth about the Estonian exercise is that NATO didn't fail. They were provided with a roadmap for survival. They learned that in the next war, the winner won't be the one with the most steel, but the one with the best digital cloak and the fastest silicon brain. For any nation observing from the sidelines, the message is clear. The era of the iron wall is over. The era of the invisible intelligence and infinite network has begun. Now, that's all for today. Send this video to someone that will be interested in the message. Subscribe, like if you want, comment, give me a critique, and I hope I will see you around in another video. That's all for now. Bye.